At the start of the film, we are shown the magic is going on a stage. It was being done by a magician. His name was Eisenheim. The people sitting there feel there is a soul made with smoke. They get nervous, then the chief arrives there. He arrests the magician, while blaming him that he has deceived the empire. He tried to fall the empire. The people there support the magician, but it was useless, because the chief takes him with him. Now the scene changes and we see a crown prince. An inspector comes to him. He tells him about Eisenheim magician. He tells him about his childhood, that he belonged to a poor family. One day he sees a magician and he showed him his magic. Then he disappeared. Eisenheim also gets passionate to learn magic. He also starts doing magic tricks himself. One day he saw the princess and showed her his magic. The princess, whose name is Sophie, she likes magic. They start spending time together. They start liking each other. Eisenheim also made a locket for her. They often meet secretly, because this thing was strange for the people that a poor boy lives with a princess. That's why many problems were created. The guards of the castle blackmail Eisenheim, that if he will again come to the princess they will kill him. Eisenheim was a wise boy. He cared for his family. He goes from there at a far distance and he learned magic for many years in another country. One day he returned after becoming a great magician. He returned after 15 years. He again arranges his great magic show. All were impressed by it. The inspector was also there, who is now telling the story to Prince. Now the story comes to the present and we see Eisenheim taking the start of the magic show. He calls the one on the stage who hasn't any fear of dying. But none comes in front of him, because everyone loved his or her life. Suddenly, the crown prince stands up there. Everyone becomes happy that he has taken the risk on his life, how brave he is. But the prince stands for sending Princess Sophie on the stage to point her. When he says Sophie in front of all, she has to go to the stage. Seeing her, Eisenheim recognizes her, that she is Sophie with whom he played in his childhood. Later, he liked her. The princess couldn't recognize him. But when Eisenheim does a trick of his past, Sophie clicks that maybe he is the one. The prince Eisenheim to do more shows. When the prince and Sophie were going from there, Eisenheim says something due to it. The princess remembers completely that he is Eisenheim, but then she has to go from there with the prince. After it, Eisenheim and princess meet secretly. Eisenheim says, "I am the boy." The princess says, "Yes, I knew. I am happy." She also tells him, "I am going to be the princess of here. But I don't like the crown prince." They talk to each other for a long, but someone is spying on them. The inspector also comes to know the news of their meeting. After it, he says to Eisenheim to stay away from the princess. The day arrives when there is the second show of Eisenheim. Eisenheim makes the painting of the prince's father in few seconds. The prince demands one more trick. Eisenheim stands his sword while turning it on the side of its peak. He says only the person who deserves it can pick it. They all come to pick it, but none can pick it. Then the prince comes, but he also couldn't pick it. Eisenheim removes his magic. After it, the prince picks it, but the prince becomes aggressive because of it. He orders that he couldn't perform any show further. At night, Princess Sophie and Eisenheim again meet. Sophie tells him, "Within few days there is my engagement with the crown prince. I am depressed." Eisenheim says, "I can take you far from here." The princess says, "No, there will be a risk to our lives." The prince again gets the news of their meeting. He calls Sophie and says, "I know you again meet with Eisenheim." Sophie says yes, because he is a good friend of mine. We were together in childhood. And if I talk about your question, you have no right, because I don't want to marry you. You also don't deserve it, prince. On it, the prince slaps her. Sophie runs from there. The prince chases her. He was drunk. As he reaches near Sophie, he kills her while attacking her with his sword. Her dead body was on the horse, and some people have seen this scene, but none could say anything. The next day, Eisenheim finds the dead body of Sophie at the shore of the stream. He weeps a lot because the one he loves from his childhood, today she left. While checking Sophie's body, the doctor finds a gem. He shows this gem to the inspector, and the inspector comes to know this gem belongs to the prince. It means she was with the prince last night. The prince has killed her. Eisenheim also tells him the prince has killed Sophie, but the inspector hides this. To save the prince, he blames someone else. Eisenheim considers this thing bad. He leaves his previous place and buys a new theater. There he starts showing the black magic, like to call the souls and talk to them. He becomes famous among people, and the prince gets jealous of it. Once again he sends people to stop his show, so they will tell that Eisenheim uses a projector and calls the souls. But they didn't prove anything, because the image of the projector was blur. The souls of the Eisenheim look genuine, because they were genuine. After it, the inspector also comes to see it. He couldn't judge that how Eisenheim do this. He arrests him. He starts interrogating him. There were the fans of Eisenheim outside. They speak loudly, "Inspector, if you will not release Eisenheim, we will attack this building." Inspector says to Eisenheim, if they will do this, it will create a problem. Eisenheim says to them, "Leave from here. My magic was a lie and I just create illusions." Saying this, he also leaves from there. Now we see Eisenheim again start his magic show. This time he calls the soul of Sophie. The audience gets shocked after seeing the soul of Sophie. They ask her, "Who killed you?" The prince was also there in another getup, to keep an eye on Eisenheim, and to see how he does his magic. Princess Sophie states that the person who killed her resides within you. Hearing it, the prince gets nervous and leaves from there. After this show, the inspector meets Eisenheim and says to him that you will not do any show after this, because he was sacred. If Eisenheim will do a show, he will call Sophie again. Maybe Sophie will say the name of prince, and the prince will be caught. Eisenheim says, "No, I will never stop my show. My next show will be better than this show." The inspector says, "If you will do this, you will be arrested." Eisenheim says, "Do whatever you want." Saying this, he starts preparing for his next show. Now Eisenheim gives the control of his show to his manager. Even he named his show and theater to his manager. Maybe he has done this if there will be any problem, the manager will defend him. The show starts at night. The inspector has arrived there with his people before. To arrest the magician means Eisenheim. Eisenheim again calls the soul of Sophie. They start communicating with each other. Sophie says to Eisenheim, "Remember the locket you have given me. I used to wear it on my neck. But see, after my death there is no locket in my neck." The inspector immediately comes to the stage to arrest Eisenheim. That may be the secret of the prince will be revealed. As he goes to him, Eisenheim becomes the soul and disappears. The inspector goes to the house of Eisenheim, but he couldn't find him. Then he finds a gemstone there. It was of green color and it was on the sword of the prince. It was on the place where Sophie was murdered. Here it also confirms to the inspector that it is done by the crown prince. With it, the inspector also comes to know the prince is not sincere with anyone. Today he is with him to use him and rule the kingdom. Even he wants to kill his father, the king of here. The inspector writes a letter to the king and tells him everything in it. How the crown prince has killed Sophie. And he also wants to kill you, just to occupy this place. From here, the inspector goes to the prince. He says to him, "I have come to know your beguiler nature. I will tell everyone what kind of human you are." The prince points a gun at him and asks, "Yes, can you tell?" Meanwhile, some soldiers come there. Those were sent by the king. Seeing them, the crown prince gets scared, because he can't do anything in front of them. Maybe he is feeling guilty that he has killed his fiancée. With it, he also wants to kill his father, but now his secret was revealed. He will be insulted. If he will be spared, he will not get the kingdom. Here he shoots himself after it. The inspector was terminated from his job. The coat he has worn, there was the locket of Sophie. But when he checks his coat's pocket, he didn't find the locket. When he sees behind Eisenheim was going somewhere quickly. He has changed his getup. He chases him. While running, they reach the railway station. Eisenheim immediately goes inside the train. Here the inspector understands everything. That Eisenheim has taken the locket to give it to Sophie. Here we come to know the whole plot. What actually happened in this movie. Eisenheim and Princess Sophie wanted to live together. It was their plan to pretend that Sophie is dead. The prince has killed her. Eisenheim gave some drink to the prince. Due to it, he will not remember anything. That what is he doing? At that time we are shown he was drunk. He went behind Sophie, but he didn't kill Sophie. The thinking this is why they all feel like Sophie is dead, because she wasn't breathing. Eisenheim also makes her drink something intoxicated. Due to it, she was breathing with difficulty, but her heart was beating. After it, Eisenheim again makes her drink and she starts breathing. She goes at a far distance so everyone will feel that she is dead. The doctor was also with them. The doctor said that the prince has killed Sophie. His gem is found in her body. Everyone was feeling that the prince is a murderer. The prince also doesn't remember anything about the night, because he feels he was drunk. Here the Eisenheim goes in front of the inspector's eyes in the train. Inspector starts laughing. How he became a fool in front of all. He has nothing. On another side, we see Eisenheim takes off the train in the mountains. Sophie was already there waiting for him. Eisenheim gives him the locket which he took out from the inspector's pocket. Here they live happily. With it, this movie ends here. Thank you for watching.